On the news, 5 opposition lawmakers defect to APC, citing party crisis. House hails NDLEA transformation during oversight visit. Plus, NAS pledges legislative backing for MDA's optimal performance in 2025. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Praise Nwachuku. 5 opposition House of Representative members from the People's Democratic Party and Labour Party have defected to the All Progressive Congress. The lawmakers include 1 from PDP and 4 from the Labour Party. They are Eriatake Ibori Suenu from Delta State, Donatus Matthew from Kaduna State, Tochukwu Okere from Imo State, Akiba Basi from Cross River State, and Esosa Iyawe from Edo State. In their letters of defection, read at Thursday's plenary by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, the lawmakers cited alleged crisis in their former political parties as reasons for their decision to defect to the All Progressives Congress. The minority caucus of the House, while speaking in opposition to the defections, denied any existing crisis in the opposition parties. The House of Representatives has called for the creation of the Nigerian Lithium Production Agency by the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development in line with provisions of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007. Lawmakers at plenary say the proposed agency will help upscale the lithium value chain in the country for energy sufficiency and economic growth. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen tells us more.
Nigeria's lithium deposits are valued in billions of dollars, but exploration remains poorly funded in the country, despite being a major source of renewable energy. Lawmakers point out that global demand for lithium is projected to rise 13 times by 2040, hence the need to design the requisite regulatory and legal framework that will govern the lithium value chain.
To develop a vertical integrated lithium industry, create a roadmap for developing the infrastructure required by potential lithium mines in Nigeria, a lithium value chain policy that links mining approvals to significant investments in midstream and downstream segments of the value chain.
The House condemns recent bandit attacks on farmers in Isuzu local government area of Enugu State, as well as other parts of the country, leading to loss of lives and property. Lawmakers describe the trend as a threat to national food security.
The call on the federal government to intensify efforts in addressing the root causes of banditry and insecurity in the region, including improved intelligence gathering, community engagement, and enhanced coordination among security agencies.
In other resolutions, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was asked to address the challenges of Nigerians studying abroad under the bilateral education agreement.
Some of these challenges include delays in stipend payments and shortfall in stipend disbursement, reduction in supplementation allowances, accommodation challenges, health and welfare concerns.
To curb the menace of beggars in the streets of Abuja, the social protection programs of the FCT administration came under scrutiny at plenary.
Worried that the strategy has failed because it provides only a short-term solution as the beggars soon return, probably in a changed location.
Several bills passed second reading.
A bill for an act to the amend Federal Medical Center Act to provide for establishment of Federal Medical Center, Damasak, Borno State.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal University of Education, Akwanga.
The bills have been referred to relevant committees for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikpen, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has addressed key national issues during recent plenaries. Amongst them is a resolution urging the federal government to unfreeze the accounts of the National Social Investment Programs Agency and lifts the suspension of various social schemes aimed at reducing poverty. And to speak further on this, we are being joined by Adeshola Adedayo, member, House of Representatives, Lagos State. You're welcome to Parliamentary News.
Thank you so much for having me.
What is the consequence of the national social investment programs being dormant for some months now, and what exactly is the hope for their resuscitation?
This is a very important program for it's a social means, of assisting the indigent people in the population. It's a social safety net, as it were. And if you suspend it, it will affect millions of households, which they need this support, particularly at this time that there's a global challenges facing families, and more importantly in Nigeria at this particular time. So if the funds are unfrozen, we'll be able to reach out to all the constituents across Nigeria, particularly those that are disadvantaged and those that are on the borderline. On freezing this fund, we go a long way. And you see, we are very close to Christmas. This will be like a Christmas gift and a New Year present to those that are involved. So I think it's a very it's a motion that has come at the right time and is apt. And I'm sure the executive will also look into this thing. The only thing that I may not agree with is giving them 72 hours. But it's been passed by the House, so it's binding. But I think that the government will recognize that it is the pressure on us that has made us to make a move to, to expedite action on freezing those accounts, and also that it will go a long way to help and alleviate the suffering of the masses.
What best practices can the federal government adopt to make the NSIPS transparent and corruption-free?
Well, I think all of us as a nation, individuals and as a nation, we're on a learning curve. And I'm sure that the next crop of people that will manage this one will learn from the mistakes that were committed by those that were there before, that led to the freezing of those accounts. And I'm sure that this present executive and the legislator, they're working very hard to reduce corruption to the minimum in those areas. And some of us are also, I had a motion, asking us to, update our social register, so that we could be able to know those who actually need these services. And also from time to time, to look at those register and see whether those people, new people will come into it, and some people will also exit, And I think that if we look at the social register of the people that are vulnerable, it will go a long way to relieve the suffering of the masses.
Well, thank you so much for being on the news this evening. Moving on, the House of Representatives has acknowledged the notable transformation being witnessed in the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, around better welfare, improved funding, modern facilities alongside a conducive working environment for personnel. This was during an oversight visit of the Committee on Drugs and Narcotics to the new headquarters and soon to be inaugurated barracks of the agency, situated in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Gunjade accompanied the committee on the oversight and now files the report.
The oversight is the first since the inauguration of the committee in June 2023, and it's just been a matter of weeks that the agency relocated to the new headquarters situated at Jai axis of Abuja. The hosts say between January and October 2024, 14,480 arrests of drug offenders, including 15 drug barons, have been made, achieving 2,867 convictions in courts.
It's always a challenge, which is one of the reasons we hope next year will be very helpful to us, because we are obviously under a parent ministry, and it's what they hand over to us that we use completely. There's so much that we could do, but we are strapped.
Having facilitated speedy passage of the NDLEA Act Amendment Bill, the committee promises unwavering support in ensuring that NDLEA remains adequately equipped to fulfill its mission.
I'm delighted to inform you that National Assembly has just passed the harmonized NDLEA Amendment Act. Soon it will be transmitted to the President to assent.
Committee members also visited Aviation Village, Kiami, where the agency's FCT command barracks is sitting on 14,000 acres of land.
This is part of the nationwide construction project of the NDLEA, and so far so good. Here we've seen so many buildings, and as part of the capital project we have a rehabilitation center and a forensic laboratory.
The layout includes blocks for administrative and entertainment purposes, detention facilities, exhibit store, clinic, powerhouse, drainage system, amongst other features. In Abuja, Joshua Ogochiri, NTA News.
Ahead of the 2025 fiscal year, the legislature is assuring government ministries, departments and agencies of continued legislative support to carry out their mandates with much efficiency. This came from the House of Representatives Committee on University Education during an oversight visit to National Universities Commission and 2 other agencies. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
After 4 months of interface with federal universities across the country, the committee now engages heads of agencies on the utilization of 2023-2024 budget. One of such is the National Universities Commission.
Local travel and transport, appropriation 181 million, total actual expenditure 166 million. Is that correct? In that same year, you expended additional 45 million plus what has been appropriated for you. That's my point. We are not running a transport company here that people have to be spending almost 200 million naira for transportation.
There are unintended consequences, unintended expenditures that we do not anticipate. We hold retreats, we convene meetings, we convoke meetings with stakeholders, system-wide, and sometimes it's difficult ab initio to look at that.
At the National Mathematical Center, committee members queried the center over the 2023-2024 budget implementation, with some infractions and underutilization were identified.
We conduct what we call national Olympiads. We bring in secondary school students, we train them at least 3-4 times within the country, select the best, then take them out of the country for competition. That's what we do.
There is no way under a normal government planned expenditure using the financial rules, you collect 11 million and then spend 47 million. It's never had like that. From where do you get the funds?
The committee also visited National Library of Nigeria, where the interface centered on the workforce and training, as well as the preservation of the national heritage. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Well, it's now time to go on a short break. Parliamentary News continues.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Parliamentary News. Youths from across the 19 northern states today thronged the National Assembly to show solidarity with the Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, urging his critics to toe the path of fairness. The group, while making reference to last Wednesday's resolution of the Senate to allow experts to educate Nigerians on the proposed tax reform bills, commended Barau for his efforts to ensure that Nigerians were adequately sensitized on the bills.
We are here today
to say we pass a vote of confidence on the man called Jibrin Barrow. We are here to tell the Nigerians today that the tax reform bill is in order and Nigerians should work towards its perfection and also her progress.
They described Senator Barrow as a pro-masses lawmaker, noting his commitment to see that the Northwest Development Commission becomes a reality. The Kaduna State House of Assembly has passed for second reading a bill authorizing the appropriation of more than 790 billion naira for the 2025 fiscal year. Deputy Speaker, Kaduna State House of Assembly, Henry Magaji Danjuma, presiding over the session, tasked the House Committee on Appropriation and Implementation with scrutinizing the draft budget to ensure its benefit to the state.
Following the reading of the draft budget during the plenary section, lawmakers immediately commenced debate. Member representing Lere East, Munira Suleiman Tenemu, then moved a motion for the bill's second reading, seconded by Ali Khalad, member representing Jamal constituency.
I move that a bill for a law to make appropriation of funds for the government of Kaduna State of the year 2025 in the sum of 790,439,580,083 naira 16 kobo only be read the second time. I so move.
I so second. Member representing Zonkwa constituency, Emmanuel Bakokantiok, observed that the proposed budget failed to address several abandoned projects from the previous administration, urging the House to ensure comprehensive consideration of all areas.
If you live in the southern part of the state and you travel from Sabontesha to Television Garage, you will discover that that road is a very critical road and it is very important to Kaduna State. For over years now, that community has been cut off and there has been no usage of that road. All the township roads that were graded in Zonkwa and construction commenced by the defunct Kawaja Municipal Authority. Those projects appear not to have been captured in this year's budget.
Separately, a bill to establish the Kaduna State Tourism, Museum, Landscape Park and Educational Services Board 2024 was also introduced.
In the face of this VAT tax reform law, if we don't begin to think of strategies to show up our income, one day we may not be able to pay our salaries. Today, the Lagos we are proud of, they survive based on these monies people come and spend. Because when you have tourism facilities, people will come, they will bring in money, they will patronize the local businesses, and then the more they buy, the more value-added tax the state gets, and the better for the income of the state.
Both bills were subsequently referred to the relevant committees for thorough review. In Kaduna, Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
The Ebonyi State House of Assembly has passed for second reading a bill for a law seeking the state government to appropriate over 300 billion naira for the 2025 fiscal year. Parliamentary correspondent who monitored the budget presentation of Governor Francis Nwifuru has details.
The former Speaker of the 5th and 6th Assembly, now Governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Nwifuru, was ushered into the hallowed chambers for the second time by his former colleagues and principal officers of the 7th Assembly to perform his statutory executive responsibility as enshrined in Section 121 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The 2025 proposed budget estimate of 396,589,009,620 naira presented to the House by Governor Francis Nwifuru captured recurrent expenditure of 112,073,861,620 naira, while capital expenditure stand at about 284,515,148,000 naira. More so for personnel cost is estimated at 36,417,857,000 naira. Governor Francis Nwifuru explained that in the previous budget, which was estimated at 202,172,918,907 naira 00 kobo, education, health, agriculture, infrastructure, and human capital development received a major boost. Hence, the theme for this year's budget is captioned Economic and Social Development. 5 sectors in the 2025 budget, that is, In the area of social sector, there is an increase of about 6.69%, while administrative, economic, regional, as well as law and justice are critical areas of concentration.
We have reintroduced our domestic and foreign scholarship programs with a total of 1,000 beneficiaries, while 700 are currently pursuing their master's and PhD degrees locally, and 300 beneficiaries are on foreign scholarship. To ensure that health workers remain available 24 hours, 7 days a week to attend to our health needs of our rich people, we are establishing 39 model primary health care development centers. Each of these centers will have 2 MRI machines. We disburse 3 million naira to public employers to support their agro-business after undergoing intensive training. 2 million to another state of 500 employers, 1 million to 1,300 employers, and over 9,000 employers were also credited with 50,000 naira each to cushion the effect of hardship occasioned by first subsidy removal.
Governor Nwifuru noted that for this lofty budget to be realized, it is sacrosanct that stakeholders will ensure that the state internally generated revenue should be beefed up, as plans to establish more industries through attracting foreign investors and establishing an independent power station has reached advanced stage, while payments for 3 aircraft have been made.
We are advancing collaboration with the government of China in business relationship, which will soon revolutionize the economy of Ebonyi State and position it as the Southeast Free Trade Zone. The state-owned pipe production company and the building materials industry at Zero have undergone serious rehabilitation and have commenced production. Discussions on the possibility of establishing an independent power station in the state has reached the advanced stage. We have rehabilitated the Ibogo of Railway, 33 kVA line, 2 number of 33 by 0.415 kVA substation, and ensure suitable electricity in the important industrial areas on principle to Isheke axis.
In his remarks, the Speaker of the House, Chief Moses Odonwa, noted that the 7th Assembly has always given accelerated passage of any executive bill. Hence, in the year under review, 20 bills so far sent to the House have been passed because they are anchored on the People's Charter of Needs. Having passed through first reading during the presentation of the budget, the leader of the House, Kingsley Ikoro, moved a motion for the budget to be accepted as a working document, while the Deputy Chief Whip, Arinze Lucas, seconded the motion. Thereafter, other members of the House made their inputs on the proposed budget and it scaled through second reading.
The budget has to be allowed to pass through second reading. To the next, we say aye. This against the ayes.
Meanwhile, the Speaker Moses Odonwa has directed the Chairman House Committee on Budget and Planning, Chief Arinze Lucas, to screen and come out with a clean copy for further legislative action. In the interim, the House stepped down its rule to give a standing ovation to Governor Francis Nwifuru. In Abakaliki, Uchechukwu Onwe, NTA News.
Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has presented the 2025 budget of 382.5 billion naira with emphasis of his administration's commitment to consolidating developmental achievements and advancing infrastructure projects initiated in the previous years. Adams Abdulkadri completes the report.
The budget, tagged Budget of Economic Growth and Stability, reflects a strategic focus on sustainable growth, improved public services, health, agriculture, and economic development. Governor Abdullahi Sule assured Nasarawa citizenry of transparent implementation of the budget in order to foster prosperity across the state.
Clear without an iota of doubt that the capital expenditure is where our priority is. And His Excellency has demonstrated that through a lot of infrastructural development across the state. We would see that in this year alone, we have seen the construction of the overhead and underpass in Lafia, a lot of schools across the entire state and various local governments.
The funding of the budget will be realized through federal allocation, FAC, and state internally generated revenue services.
All of our revenues do not come at once. They come at different parts of the year. And as such, we would have priorities, and we would like to allocate resources according to our priorities when they are available.
Speaker, Nasarawa State House of Assembly Danladi Jatu commends Governor Abdullahi Sule for prioritizing people's-oriented programs and policy, saying the 7th Assembly under his leadership will continue to synergize with the executive for progress and development of the state.
We give all the needed support to the state government to execute all its policy and programs without hindrance, so that our people will get the much-needed democratic dividends. Therefore, I want to assure you that this budget will get the needed attention it deserves from the State Assembly.
The budget of economic growth and stability is over 26 billion naira, higher than budget of renewed commitment of 2024. In Lafia, Adams Abdul Kadri, NTA News.
And that's it tonight in Parliamentary News. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant evening. I am Praise Nwachuku.